Life in isolation starts to feel a lot like Groundhog Day. Like every day is just a repeat of the previous day. Except, and I know that we are not the only ones that feel that way, but there is the one day a week. The one day. The day that we run out of food. And that's an exciting thing because it means we get to go to the market. We get to get out in the world, go see other people, and
get away from the sawing. The sawing, it never ends.
Because when your neighbor is under construction, that's great for him, and that's awesome. He's getting to work on a project. But for those of us who are just, stuck here temporarily,
it's driving me crazy.
It is just a little bit, I'm Nikki, and this is Jason. In 2016, we bought a sailboat with absolutely no experience and set off to explore the world. 4 years later, we landed in Tonga and decided to haul out for cyclone season to visit friends and family. We were on our way back to our floating home when the pandemic caused all the borders to close, and we've been stranded ever since. This is our isolation life in Fiji. So this is the Namaka market, and this is the market that is closest to us. They have a really wide selection of stuff, surprisingly. We feel really lucky because we've got really great food just a short 3-minute drive away from our apartment. There are a lot of the vendors do have a lot of the same stuff, so it's a lot of repeat items, but some do just pineapples and bananas and plantains, while others maybe do limes and green leafy things. But it's a lovely selection, and it is a nice escape and a change of scenery. And of course, this is our best chance to interact with locals. Hula! Hula!
Hula!
Love these. Make plantain chips out of these because they're perfect. Green, you don't want them yellow.
You have something big there with you?
Yes, I do. Lost this. How much for the coconuts?
Coconuts, $5 here, $3.
Okay. Oh, because these are bigger and those are smaller. Drink the milk or the water, and then we make coconut milk out of the flesh on the inside. And she's already done all the hard work for us. We don't have to shuck them. That's a lovely bunch,
yeah.
How much for that one? $10. So $10 Fijian. It's not quite half, but it's close. So that's the way we round it up in our heads. If it's 10 Fijian, it's about $5 US. So pretty affordable for a hunk of fresh bananas.
I don't know what the money looks like.
Oh, their money is beautiful. It's one of my favorite things is seeing all the different currency. So there you go, 5 Fijian dollars, the lovely parrot on it. And let's see, what else do we have? $100. It's got a cicada. Isn't that beautiful? So colorful. Thank you. Manaka, manaka.
This is this is Waka, yeah? So this is Waka, which is it's basically the root version of Kava, which is the powder, and it's such an important part of Fijian culture. When you come and you're usually welcoming to somebody home, you do a Kava ceremony in like this big pot, and you drink this root, basically powder, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit funny.
It does not.
Supposedly, and the more you drink, the more you drink out of this.
Which is a coconut shell.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's a cool experience if you haven't done it, or if you come to Fiji, it's totally something that you have to do. I mean, you probably won't have an option. Somebody's gonna make you do it.
Hola.
Oh, Luna, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, same as you.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a
Perfect.
Bok choy and spinach.
Bok choy. The chili bomb.
Chili bomb.
garnish? Coriander, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do some coriander and some spinach. And one spinach.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll do one of these. Perfect. So this would be a pretty typical trip to the market for us, except a few weeks ago, our isolation life completely changed, and it was all your fault, not your fault, your fault.
Yeah, I was standing right here, holding the bags and the money like I usually do, and I looked over, and there was a little furry ball right there on the sidewalk, curled up, sleeping, literally in the entrance to the market with the busy cars going by. It was much busier that day, and I thought, how the hell is this little tiny cat sleeping with all this chaos going on?
So there was this tiny little kitten just laying there. We tried to pick her up and like stand her up, but she was so lethargic and sad. And one of the ladies came out from the market and she said, if you want her, you should take her because she's not gonna make it. In other words, if we didn't take this cat home, it was probably just gonna die right there. What else do you do but take the cat home? So that is how we got Pip. Hi, Miss Pip. Hi, yes. And that is the story on how we found Pipsqueak.
When we first found her, she was lethargic. She barely could move.
Skinny as a rail.
Smelled bad. Poor little kitty. Cover your ears. She could eat like a 10-year-old cat.
But we only gave her a few little kibbles at a time because she would just eat until her little belly would swell so big.
Yeah, so obviously she was malnourished. She was basically on her deathbed.
And she had a spot on her leg that she kept licking, and there it looked raw and irritated and angry.
So then I turned to the rectangle of knowledge to look up a vet.
We searched for a vet and we found something way better. Animals Fiji is a welfare agency for animals. The veterinary clinics are where anyone can seek treatment for their pets, livestock, or wildlife, but they also function as shelters, taking in strays, injured, and abused animals who are treated and rehomed. Which is perfect because that is exactly what our little Pipsqueak needs.
So we reached out, told them our story about how we're travelers and we're stuck here in isolation in Fiji waiting for the Tongan border to open, and how we found this cat.
And they said, no problem, bring her on in. And when we showed up for our appointment, they said, okay, you've got two options here. You can either surrender her right now and then we'll take it from there, or you can help foster her right now, either until we find her a home or until you have to leave.
And obviously she's so darn cute, we just said, of course we'll foster her. She's gonna bring us so much joy in this like crazy time.
She's a very welcome distraction to say the least.
It's your first appointment, Pip.
Pretty much her first everything. She hasn't been around very long. She's had a rough start.
So where did you find her?
She was just at the market. She was curled up by the street. From there, the doctor took her in, gave her like a full workup, vaccinations included, and said she had some hot spots.
It's really big, whole area here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to get that hair off. Otherwise, it'll just keep getting infected.
Oh,
And
okay.
it'll spread.
Is it a parasite or is it just
No, I think it's like it was like a rash which just grew because it got infected.
Yeah, and then they shaved off her fur. Oh, it looked so painful, but the doctor was so compassionate.
Shock boss, yes.
It's gonna make it all better though. I know, so sorry. Oh.
Yeah, good. Yes, I know.
The doctor was so kind and gentle.
It was very sweet to see. And so he hooked us up with some cream and a cone. And
Sent us out the door.
yeah. Sorry, Pip.
Don't. Look down.
No!
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a learning experience.
Yes. For everyone. Yes.
And we got up to the counter and we said, well, how much do we owe you? And their answer was nothing.
which shocked us. And we thought, well, what do you mean we don't owe you anything? They said, well, you're fostering her. So we take care of it. And we thought, we can take care of it. And they said, well, if you'd like to, you can make a donation and, you know, you can fully sponsor her.
Well,
if you
how
want
much
to.
does it cost to sponsor a cat or an animal? And they said, basically $150 will take care of a cat, like everything, or a dog.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Desexing the whole deal. And we thought, wow, like that's not much. So we thought, okay, no problem. We will donate $150 and we'll sponsor Pip. And then we thought, that's not really like enough.
Gotta do more. They're doing such great things, and these animals on the beach have just become friends of ours.
Yeah, it's like we see these dogs every day.
And a lot of them have been taken care of by Animals Fiji.
Introduce our cleanup crew.
This is Mama, this is Skinny Junior, and this is the handsome one. Yeah.
Look at that face. Look at that face. Yes, yes.
So we came up with the idea of raising $1,500.
Which we thought was a very realistic goal. Like, right? It's not huge and lofty. It's just like, that's a nice amount of money that would cover 10 animals here in Fiji. And I know it's tough times right now, so we've decided that, we've come up with 2 ways that we can do this, hopefully with your help.
And number one is definitely the easiest because, well, you're doing it right now. You're watching this video. We've decided we're going to donate all of the YouTube revenue from this video to Animals Fiji.
To give you an idea, we earn, I mean, there's no exact science to it. It's variable, but it's approximately 0.003 cents per view, right?
Yes, yes. And that calculates to, if we get 500,000 views, we should earn that $1,500.
But we don't typically get 500,000 views per video. So if you want to, you can make a donation directly to Animals Fiji. There's a link in the description box below. That would be amazing. Just make sure you reference Pip or the Wynns. And we thank you so very much. And otherwise, you can also, share this
Watch
video.
it again.
Right, because if we surpass that goal, that would be fantastic. But 1,500 is the goal. That would be 10 animals. And when we reach that, we'll come back at you with an update video and introduce you to some of the animals that you've helped save. And if restrictions are lifted, hopefully we can introduce you to some of the people at Animals Fiji too.
And back to Pip. So she is up for adoption. She's looking for a beautiful home here in Fiji.
Yep.
And she is extremely healthy on full-on kitten mode.
Yes. And will be the perfect little monster to entertain you
during this crazy time. Yeah. But, you know, we could tell you all about it, but why don't we let Pip show you how she feels.
I'm barely getting by. Got a heavy load. It's trying to break my mind. Can you tell me what you see? Maybe help me up this wall that's been blocking me. Hey, hey, getting closer every day. Won't stop believing till I see myself where I need to be. This voice inside is my only guide. Gonna make sure I'm heard.
Oh, Pip. So that's Pip. Hope you guys are staying sane and most importantly safe during this crazy time. Thank you for watching and thank you for helping animals here, like Pip. Whee! Such a good little kitty. Yeah.
Say meow, Pip. Say meow.